Day 5 of the Diddy trial just came to a screeching halt, and baby, when we say this courtroom is on fire, we mean it, because Homeland Security just shook the world. They walked in, took the stand, and dropped a bombshell so loud it could be heard all across Hollywood. You ready? Names were revealed, huge ones. Kanye, Michael B. Jordan, Ashton Kutcher, Steve Harvey, all tied to Diddy, all allegedly involved. And no, this isn't speculation, it was all said in court. This isn't just about Diddy anymore, it's about a whole system of celebrities who may have known, may have helped, or may have just stayed quiet. But now, the silence is over. Even Justin Bieber, who's been MIA from the conversation for months, has finally spoken up. And what he said about Diddy, oh, you're gonna wanna hear this.
Here's why Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, and more celebrities were name-dropped at Sean Diddy Combs' trial. As jury selection in the mogul's sex trafficking trial got underway May 5th in New York, NBC News reports prospective jurors were shown a list of more than 100 names of people and places that may be referenced during the trial, including actors Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and rapper Kanye West. While the aforementioned celebrities are not implicated in the case, the potential jurors were asked whether they knew any of the names listed and whether it would impact their ability to be impartial, per the outlet. Attorneys did not share an explanation for the list. The names of women who have taken legal action against Combs were also on the list, including his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, whose November 2023 sexual abuse lawsuit against the rapper was settled one day after it was filed. Danny DeCane alum Dawn Richard, who accused Combs of sexual assault in a lawsuit filed in September, was also listed. Combs has denied any wrongdoing in both cases.
Here's where things take a disturb. As this trial explodes, celebrities are vanishing from the spotlight one by one. Ashton Kutcher, he saw it coming years ago. And you know what he did? He dipped, left Hollywood, just poof, gone. But Ashton's exit wasn't just about burnout. Let's not kid ourselves. His relationship with Moniz, reportedly ruined because of his ties to Diddy, he knew that when Diddy went down, everyone close to him would be dragged down too. And Ashton was right at the center of it. Let's be clear. Ashton isn't innocent. He was Diddy's golden boy. And now, his name is being dragged through the courtroom mud. Same goes for Will Smith, for Justin Bieber, for Bishop T.D. Jakes. They've all started publicly distancing themselves from Diddy. But is it too late?
And whenever these trials come about, the closer you get to the trial date, a lot of things start happening to remove people from the case that are going to strengthen the case for the prosecution. And I feel like we're watching that take place now with one of the male sex worker guys who provided tapes to the feds. He's disappeared. And this is similar to what happened in the Tory Lanez case, where the bodyguard whose DNA was on the weapon, he disappeared. So I expect to see a lot of strange things take place. I expect to see the defense team do a lot of steps to lighten the image of Combs, and we've been watching that take place.
From what you know about him, Sean Combs, obviously the perception of him has changed dramatically since these allegations were made and since he got charged. I mean, from everything we're seeing now, he seems a very unpleasant, nasty, violent piece of work. Is that a correct assessment?
The assessment is going to be correct. So what I've learned is whenever you see a gentleman like this from affluence and power, whenever they have an addiction to MDMA or the drug ecstasy, they call it the love drug. So he's been doing this drug for over 20 years. So that's going to lead his view skewed when it comes to sexual activity. I believe it's helped turn him into a sexual deviant.
Hollywood's image is cracking, and Terrence Howard, he's telling it like it is. He says the lifestyle is toxic. It eats you alive. People are pushed into doing things they never wanted, and a lot of them were abused too. This is where it gets dark. Back in 2019, Demi Moore dropped a horrifying confession. Her mother let grown men sleep for $500, 0 cents. Can you imagine? Being a little girl sold by your own mom?
Now to Demi Moore. She revealed in her memoir that she was sexually assaulted at the age of 15, writing that her mother let the abuser in their home. Well, today Demi talked to Howard Stern more about this on his Sirius XM radio show.
But you say you pushed it away. You don't need. You just
I
recently.
pushed it away because I felt like it was my fault. Like I felt like I had behaved in a way that was
Provocative?
and mature, like I really knew a lot. And I never really looked at myself as being a kid. And so I never looked at it as rape. I mean, I saw it as an unfortunate and, you know,
Yet he forced you into it.
I was very embarrassed by it. In all honesty, I think that the shame I carried because of the rape made me afraid to feel I could comfortably express myself sexually.
It makes me just remember the conversation that I had with her where she talked about the purpose of her writing this book was to share her story in hopes that it would empower other young women. She did talk about a lot of the other things to Howard Stern. She said she auditioned for Top Gun, obviously didn't get the part, but would later work with Tom Cruise as a co-star in A Few Good Men.
Yes.
One of my
One of my favorites.
If you love that video, you're gonna love everything on the Access YouTube channel, so hit the subscribe button. You can thank me later. Hit it. Now. Thanks.
As an anxious teen, she is taken by her mother to bars so that men will notice them. She's 15 when she comes home one night and an older man they know is in the apartment with the key. She writes, it was rape and a devastating betrayal, revealed by the man's cruel question. How does it feel to be whored by your mother for $500?
Do you believe she sold you?
I think in my deep heart, no. I don't think it was a straightforward transaction, but she still did give him the access and put me in harm's way.
Now here's what no one expected. Despite her tragic past, Demi Moore ended up as a regular at Diddy's parties. Not just an attendee, she was close to him, laughing, dancing, celebrating with a man now facing serious accusations of abuse. And don't forget, Demi was married to Ashton Kutcher, the same Ashton who was practically Diddy's right-hand man during the 2000s Every White Party. Ashton was there, right in the mix. And if Demi really knew what Diddy was doing, why was she there?
A freak? I would say he's definitely a freak.
I heard some wild stories. I heard he had
We all heard that.
Yeah, you know
but then, come on, I want to hear what you heard.
I mean, I heard that he had this dude Ashton Kutcher bent over.
Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Him and Ashton Kutcher was really tight. We used to go to his crib. He had a penthouse on 74th and 8th Avenue on Central Park West.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together.
But it gets worse. For someone like Demi, who endured abuse herself, people are now asking how could she be involved in the abuse of minors? A resurfaced video from 1982 has gone viral again. In it, Demi, clearly intoxicated, can be seen making out with 14-year-old Philip Tanzini. Yes, you read that right. She was married at the time, and she was kissing a child on camera.
Okay, one more time. Why do you think everybody's come out?
I don't know. Maybe just because I love them all and I hope they all love me.
We do love him.
And I love them.
If you think it's for the publicity, you're out of your mind.
Absolutely, because he's one of my most favorite people.
Have you been working on the show?
Almost a month and a half.
What's your role?
I'm Lucy Love.
And I'm Philip Tanzini and I play Jeremy and you're stealing my part. I'm
sorry. We're moving on to interview number 2 here.
Oh, okay.
because I love Philip, and he's the only one I love.
Do your interview already.
All right. I'm looks in love, but personally, I love Philip, and that's it. Okay.
We got our new storyline cooking up pretty soon. Here, have a bite.
I want to say happy birthday to Philip because I love him dearly. He's one of my most favorite people.
How long have you known him?
For about 3 weeks, and he's been terrific.
Great.
And Ashton, don't even get us started. That pretty boy mask is cracking wide open. Diddy isn't even the first predator Ashton was associated with. Let's go back to that 70s show. Ashton's co-star and so-called best friend, Danny Masterson, a man who was convicted of rape, and according to insiders, Ashton and Danny made a disgusting bet about 14-year-old Monis, a bet about who could kiss her first. Sick.
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being raped by an American man that was a sex tourist in Cambodia. And this child was so conditioned by her environment that she thought she was engaging in play. But the right to pursue happiness for so many is stripped away. It's raped. It's abused. It's taken by force, fraud, or coercion. It is sold for the momentary happiness of another.
And when Danny got convicted in 2023, Ashton Kutcher had the audacity to submit a letter to the judge defending him. He praised Danny's character. Yes, he defended a convicted rapist.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
But Ashton wasn't the only one caught in this web. Let's talk about Steve Harvey, because his name just entered the courtroom chat, and what's being alleged, baby, it's jaw-dropping. Back in 2019, it's being claimed that Steve Harvey was pimping out his daughter, Lori Harvey, to Diddy. That's right, he allegedly let her spend time with Diddy, and we all know now what Diddy's been accused of. To make matters worse, Lori's future boyfriend, Michael B. Jordan, was threatened by Diddy for even dating her, and yes, Michael's name is now in the trial too.
Steve Harvey also has a very inappropriate relationship with the diddler. And the truth is, a lot of these older men push their daughters to hook up with their celebrity friends so that they can keep the favor machine going. How do you share with your daughter, you know? Like they share that experience now? This nigga's wild. You heard about what he did in the Macy's room to the Echo clothing guy? Like, Diddy's an animal. Who introduced their daughter to that? Why is not nobody looking at Steve Harvey sideways, G? You let your daughter date the diddler?
Hey, was Michael B. Jordan there? I know he's dating your daughter now, so was he sharing Christmas with you?
Yeah.
Look at that, that's happening in front of you?
I've never seen that picture before. Very uncomfortable with that picture right there. I'm not really feeling that picture.
Going around Hollywood saying that in the late 90s, Diddy, which I know about this because I had a friend who worked detail on the party, invited Steve Harvey to one of his famous freak-offs, and then recorded Steve Harvey in a very compromising position with somebody else, if you know what I mean. Which doesn't bode too well for Mr. Family Man, you know what I mean? So, the freak-off situation got pretty crazy. There was a tape circulating, I have seen the tape. But the problem here is Diddy has been blackmailing Steve Harvey for the last 25 years, including, and this is also some reports that I've been able to verify, Diddy was dating his daughter, as well as Diddy's son was dating his daughter, and people said reports that Diddy was using her as an ATM machine.
The truth is, nobody's hands are clean. In Hollywood, you either play the game or get eaten alive. The entire industry is flooded with predators, and they're not just working solo. They're protecting each other, covering for each other. Couch casting, still real, still happening. Diddy might seem like the monster, but trust, he's just one piece in a much bigger nightmare. Once you give up your body for favors, for roles, for fame, it changes you. You don't come back from that.
You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, you know? Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, you know? But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card.
And Justin Bieber, his name is back in the headlines. His team is denying the allegations, but the internet has receipts. There are old clips, awkward interviews, body language, strange moments between Diddy and Justin. Something was off. And Justin, you can see the trauma. It's in his face, in his eyes.
Justin Bieber breaking his silence on the ordeal after months of speculation over their one-time relationship. His rep telling ET, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Bieber's questionable connection to Diddy piquing interest online as the rap mogul's indictment for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, which he denies, made headlines. Old clips of the two hanging out while Justin was underage resurfacing.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about. We hit him like this, so me and you walking, we hanging out, a little later on the night after the Usher concert.
There's also this old Jimmy Kimmel Live segment, adding to fan fears about what might have gone down with Diddy.
Got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't for everybody.
This all comes as Bieber's followers are worried for him, the singer's erratic social media posts causing concern week after week, the Beliebers asking if what he's seen behind the scenes of the industry.
Terrence Howard had thoughts too. He said that once actors give up their dignity or are forced into sex acts, they can't cope. They turn to drugs, they try to bury the pain, but it doesn't go away, it just grows, and eventually it consumes them.
You see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
And now, even Bishop T.D. Jakes is stepping away. 3 days before Diddy's trial was set to begin, Bishop Jakes stepped down from his role as lead pastor at the Potter's House. Coincidence? This man was regularly seen with Diddy. He was part of the same circle. And now he's just disappearing?
To many in the religious community, Bishop T.D. Jakes has been a spiritual advisor to presidents and a religious voice to thousands. Now he says it's time to pass the baton to a new generation.
This is a beautiful moment for me.
From the pulpit Sunday, Bishop T.D. Jakes announced that he was stepping down from leadership at the Potter's House, the Dallas megachurch he founded in 1996 and has led ever since.
I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd.
This is video from the service Jakes is referencing in November. It wasn't until months after his medical incident that he confirmed to the public he had a heart attack. Now, 5 months later, he told his congregation he had been preparing his daughter, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, and his son-in-law, Pastor Torrey Roberts, to take the lead.
Same with Will Smith. He stood on stage in San Diego, desperately trying to convince everyone he had nothing to do with Diddy. But the receipts say otherwise. Will and Diddy have partied for years. And rumors? Well, they've long whispered about threesomes involving Will, Jada, and Diddy. Yup, that's been out there.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I see them now. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff, but. You know, that one, your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
Once you're inside that inner circle, baby, it's like a spider web. Try to pull free, and it pulls you back harder. Piers Morgan's Uncensored had a guest celebrity bodyguard, Big Homie Cece, and he said it, when you go against the Hollywood elite, it disappear, plain and simple.
Right. Well, Piers, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So, you know.
There were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time, I saw the tunnel, I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. I thought, shit, have I gone to the wrong place? I looked up the end of a tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on, or was that Puffy?
So whether it's Ashton, Demi, Steve, TD Jakes, or Will, the truth, it's hunting them because eventually the NDAs fade, the money runs dry, the lies unravel. Justice might be slow, but baby, it's coming. And we will keep watching, we'll keep digging, and we'll keep speaking for all the victims who were never meant to be heard. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell because this trial, oh honey, it's far from over.